Bedford BSA is a leading international infrastructure group with more than 100 years of experience to deliver. In recent years, Bedford BSA Investments has diversified into new markets and geographics. Interim dividend of 5.6 pence per ordinary share. They exploit growth opportunities across the infrastructure and complex buildings sectors. Their long-term strategy is to continue to strengthen the company presence in economic infrastructure sectors and increase the level of diversification.
Economic policy. Economic policy is policies that the government has to deal with. For example, government growth, inflation and unemployment. Economic growth is important to governments because it means the living standards of the population increases. Having good standards of living will result in people bringing income, demand for products, revenue from taxes and lower rates of unemployment, leading to less poverty overall.
Industrial policies. Industrial policies relate to government policies which are designed to enhance and increase industry in the UK. As a whole, this is linked with economic policy but focuses more on jobs and skills. The government focuses intensely on rising income, new technology, demographic changes, low carbon economies and greater resource efficiency.
Competition policy. Government policy towards competition also has a big influence on the economy. The UK government's attitude towards competition brought a number of different benefits. Example, good performance on pricing, quality and choice. To ensure that the competition in the UK takes place, the Competition Act 1998 is used to stop anti-competitive practices such as price fixing. Businesses become too dominant in the marketplace. Businesses that supply goods and services to some businesses but not others, forcing rivals out of businesses. Limiting supplies to make sure prices go up.
Social policy. Social policy means the policies that the UK government put in for welfare and social protection. Social policy affects the level of benefits that are given to people, whether they are means tested or universal. As the UK is part of the European Union, it is also supported by the EU social policies. These include social measures, the development of areas of the EU and funds to help with this.
Regional policy. Regional policies are those that are appropriate to a particular region of the UK. 1994 government divided England into a number of different regions and developed policies according to the needs of those particular regions. Each region has different issues that need to be addressed and regional policies allow this to happen.
Environmental policy. Government environmental policy is led by the Department for Energy and Climate Change. UK government enhanced its policy through the Climate Change Act. This includes a UK-wide climate change risk assessment must be completed every 5 years. A program must be put in place to reduce climate change risk. A climate strategy has to be published. Public authorities and some companies, for example those that supply water and energy, must report on what they are doing to reduce climate risk.
Social and competition policies that are affecting Balfour BT. Social policies ensure the Balfour BT employees are treated equally in terms of their age, gender, race, sexual orientation and religion. The national minimum wage is part of social policy as it sets minimum wage levels at which employees must not be paid.
Business cycle. The business cycle is a cycle of series of cycles of economic expansion and contraction. In the business cycle, there are different stages. These are expansion. This is when the economy is growing at a fast pace and both demand and sales are high for most businesses. This adds to business production. And then there's a downturn. This is basically when the demand and sales gradually start to decrease as consumers are not spending as much. And this therefore leads to less production and investment, and businesses tend to become more cautious with their capital. Then we have recession. This, as you know, is the worst. It's the worst stage and can lead to bankruptcy if some businesses do not invest accordingly. This is because demand is very low and business struggle with costs such as wages, leading to staff cuts. And then there's recovery. This is basically the stage when the economic is recovering and this basically refers to the gradual rise in GDP as both demand and consumer spending slowly increases.
Competition policies help Balfour Beatty as they can operate in a safe way. This act ensures their competitors do not dominate the market in an unfair way. This ensures unfair acts such as price fixing do not take place. How is Balfour Beatty affected by each stage? The changing levels of demand increase across the cycle. During an economic boom, the demand will be relatively high as the general public have got more income to spend. This means that for Balfour Beatty, they will be handling and dealing with a lot more services regarding their infrastructure. With all this demand, Balfour Beatty might have more profit than needed, meaning employment levels might rise as extra costs such as wages can't afford to be covered. As the economy is financially healthy, Balfour Beatty might increase prices, leading to cost push and demand pull inflation. In an economic downturn, businesses start losing steam and demand slowly starts to decrease, which means less services and contracts for Balfour Beatty. This may lead to the business not investing as much as they will become more cautious of their capital. Once a recession hits, it leads to generally massive decrease and decline, which can make a high quality brand such as Balfour Beatty decline in several ways, with less contracts or infrastructure, maybe an incline in development for new projects as the business is less likely to make investments. This low demand will lead to less productivity within the business, meaning staff reductions may come into play to reduce costs. In an economic recovery, as the GDP grows gradually, the demand will increase as some indications may show, such as declining unemployment. In this case, business activity will start to increase and may lead to more contract offers and employment.
The ripple effect. The ripple effect is known as when one changing factor within a business can have various effects on different aspects within a company. During a recession, it is very likely for a ripple effect to occur. This is because an internal move such as staff reductions may convey a message to employees at Balfour Beatty that their job is uncertain, leading to a massive effect in staff productivity and motivation. Therefore, with poor productivity, different customers and businesses may look to other infrastructure companies, and this affects their profits.
Indicators of recovery that the manager should look out for. Being a manager, it is vital and important to look out for indicators that the economy is growing, as early indication can lead to significant positive changes within the business. Firstly, businesses can look at the unemployment rate, which is used by economic experts to determine economic growth. This means that more people are in jobs, which creates more income for the economy, and with income, spending will increase. Because of this, Balfour Beatty might make significant decisions such as making big investments, knowing that income will come from future consumer spending. Another indicator we'll be able to look at and analyse the GDP, as this looks at the overall growth and goods of the country. Therefore, if this increases, then it means the public is producing, therefore increasing the production of the economy.
How the changing employment levels at the stages will affect the firm. Different stages will have different ways of how the firm handle employees. In a boom, employment levels will be high. However, this is not always a good thing, as this could lead to lack of specialists in certain jobs, with the demand of employment being so high. During a recovery, however, employment levels will neither be high or low, but only necessary recruitments might happen, as the firm will not be looking to exceed their limits during this particular economic state. In a recession, with the employment rate being so high, the business might struggle with the revenue as spending is low. However, with this being said, staff reductions might occur to decrease cost levels for the firm.
The likely impact of periods of high and low inflation. When inflation is high, it can impact the business in a few ways. Firstly, high inflation may result in complications if they are unexpected, as the business would have to inform consumers about the risen price of their goods. And with high inflation, there is also a risk of higher costs of raw materials such as metal, etc. For a company that specialises in building and infrastructure, this is not a good problem, as it results in extra costs which can affect their profits. Low inflation can impact the business in ways such as trading and buying goods. As the level of price are low, the firm will save money, which is good for their profit margins.
Thank you very much.